Continuing with these coins made in the U.S. with the U.S. Mint are these two coins connected with Belgium. The one here on the right, as you can see, is actually for Belgium, and this is for their prime colony in Africa, known as the Belgian Congo. As you can see, the Belgian Congo is very distinctive. It has its hexagonal shape. It also here's your Bank van Belgian Congo, Banque du Congo Belgique, which of course Francais, because they speak French. 2 francs. The Belgian Congo, as a country, led mostly by its colonial masters, very much stayed on the Allied side of the war during World War II. But even so, they could need a little bit of help, and we were able to make these very distinctive elephant coins for them. But Belgium itself had become a government in exile. As the government in exile, it managed the Belgian Congo, as Belgium as a government had been managing the Congo since 1908, when power was taken away from the king, who would really abuse that power anyway. So it's certainly one coin, and if you're not too fussy about the grade, you can get this for a fairly reasonable price. If you want to get a really nice bright yellow brass one, because this is really made of brass, that can be a little bit more, unless sometimes you get a lot of polished ones. Now, this one, of course, came from a most unique and interesting source, and that source is neither more nor less nor other than the planchets used for the familiar 1943 steel pennies. So what happened was, at the end of 1943, our government decided that the zinc-coated steel configuration for pennies was not working out very well. No matter how interesting and novel they looked, they turned ugly really fast. So for 1944, they decided to use copper, and then they just took out the zinc, so it's just copper and zinc for the penny for a few years, until mid-1946, when they went back to the tin and zinc. So it turned out that there were at least some 25 million planchets for this penny left over at the end of 1943, and that made it possible to make 25 million of these 2 franc coins. So that's what they did. Belgique, Belgi. It's another way of saying this is Belgium. These are 2 francs. So it's the only coin we made for Belgium. I think there were other countries making some other emergency coinage for them. We made this coin for them. And as you can see, we were able to find perfectly suitable planchets. So it's kind of neat to see how the American penny led to a foreign coin, and they have in fact the same metallic standards completely. Switching gears, the next country alphabetically is Bolivia. Now, except for some of the 10 centavos, Diaz centavos, most of these were actually struck in 1943. But they're all dated 1942. As you can see, the 10 centavos is 100% zinc. So that makes it an interesting coin. In fact, other than the 20 centavo, it is the only pure zinc coin ever struck at the U.S. Mint. You can actually see there a little bit of the problem when you make a coin out of zinc. A little bit of something happened there. Who knows, maybe a little moisture. And as you can see, it starts fizzing like a soda. But other than that, this is in every other respect a very beautiful 10-cent piece from Bolivia. República de Bolivia. The 20 cent, as you can see, is also very lovely. It too is pure zinc. And as you can see, especially around in here and a little bit over here, more of this, fizzing has happened, probably rendering ungradable a coin that is otherwise really gorgeous. Just uncirculated. It's a shame to see that happen. 1942, 20 cents, Bolivia. And of course, there's the copper, the 50 cent. This is probably the most commonly collected because the copper coins just keep a whole lot better. No problems here. This is just a beautiful, gorgeous, high-grade coin. There is a bit of confusion, however, because it so happens that the coin was also restruck outside the U.S., somewhere else, I don't know where. And as you can see, they look very similar. In fact, you almost can't tell the difference except the quality. Both of these, as you can see, are bright red, brilliant, uncirculated coins. The one on the left was made in Philadelphia. The one on the right is the restrike. If you look close, you can just see that the details are not as good for the one on the right. And the same continues on the reverse side of these two versions of the 50 cent for Bolivia. And other than a little stain on there, that doesn't mean anything, but all the rest, as you can see, the quality, even just looking at this, you can see the quality is just not as good on the restrike as it is on the original. I mean, the original, it gleams, it's beautiful, at least when it's brilliant uncirculated. That way we can know for sure we're dealing with an authentic Philadelphia Mint Bolivian 50 centavo. Whereas this, if it weren't bright red, you could probably think it was circulated. Well, that's all I have to say for those.